Hi everyone, this is Ravi. Welcome back to Microsoft Playwright Automation tutorial. So I have already published 3 YouTube videos covering a very basic concepts of Playwright Automation tool. So in my previous session, right? So I have covered how can you set up environment for Playwright Automation tool, and then how can you install your Playwright. I have showed each and every step in detail, like how can you download Eclipse IDE, and then how can you download Java JDK, and then how can you set up Java_home environment variable. I've already explained you how to download your Apache Maven, and then how can you set up Maven_home environment variable, right? And then how can you configure your Maven dependency in POM, basically the Playwright dependency in pom.xml, and then how can you start automating your test cases by using Playwright. And we have done our first automation in my previous session. So I would recommend you guys to visit my previous session before you watch this particular fourth session. Okay, so this is our lesson 4, where I'm gonna teach you about test generator. Okay, so which means the test generator tool can be used for recording purpose. So how can you record your application by using Playwright, and then how can you generate the code in different languages. If you want to generate the code in Java, you can generate. So by recording your script or application, you can generate the code. And then how can you debug your tests by using Playwright. So I'm going to cover all these concepts in this session. Please do subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon. You'll receive notifications whenever I publish more videos. Thank you.
Tricentis is a software testing company headquartered in Austin, Texas. It provides software testing automation and software quality assurance products like Neoload performance testing tool, Tricentis Tasca automation tool, etc. Tricentis is expanding its learning communities and just launched a new community called ShiftSync. So ShiftSync is a space for developers, testers, and DevOps specialists to easily share the knowledge, connect with like-minded people, and enhance quality in the development process with valuable content, user forums, and industry experts' contribution. ShiftSync offers an engaging space for professionals to connect and learn. So join ShiftSync today by using the link provided in the description. Thank you.
So what is our agenda item? So I'm going to teach you how to record a test by using Playwright, and then how to generate locators, and how to generate the script in different languages like Java, C#, Python, etc. And also I'm going to show you how to run scripts in debug mode by using Playwright test generator. And also I'm going to show you how can you step through your tests while debugging, like step over and step through, etc. And also I'm going to show you how can you run your tests from a specific breakpoint by using Playwright automation tool. So all these are very positive points, and these are the strengths that Playwright automation tool is having compared to your other Selenium automation, right? Selenium Cypress tools. Okay, so now let's jump onto the system and see how can we perform all these activities. Okay, so this is Eclipse IDE that we used in my previous session also, and this is a new project that we have worked on, right? We have actually automated our first test by using Eclipse in our previous session. Okay, so now let me go back to official Playwright website. Okay, this is our official Playwright website, and then what we are doing, we are actually doing our automation in Java language, correct? I'm selecting Java and then hit docs, and here go to test generator. Okay, this is what we are gonna cover today's session, right? So in the test generator, they clearly stated how can you record your test, and then how can you generate the locators, right? And what is the code gen and recording a test. All these things I'm going to explain you now. Okay, so here for that, first let us go to our project here. So this is our project. I want to see the location of this project. Okay, so this is my location of the project, right? So let's go back to my location. If you see, this is the location of the project. Okay, and this is the location of the project, and here I want to initiate a command line in this location. Okay, and then here what you need to do is go back to your official website again, right? Go back to your official website. Here code gen, you need to copy this code gen. Okay, copy this code gen. Okay, and here go back to command line, and here you need to paste this particular code. Okay, we are in project folder, okay, where we created the project. We are in the location of project folder, and here you can delete your sample website that is available in the playwright. I don't want to automate this website, but whereas I want to automate demo webshot website, right? So you can copy this, and then here you can paste that particular demo webshop website that you want to automate. Okay, here, so once you paste, all you need to do is hit enter and then see what magic happens. Okay, hit enter. What it will do, it is gonna open your playwright test generator. Okay, so it takes just for 1 or 2 seconds to open. Yeah, so now it opened your playwright inspector. Okay, let me bring these two, application and playwright inspector, side by side so that you can see all the events that are happening. Okay, done. So here if you see, because we have opened the demo web shop and we have provided that particular demo web shop URL in the command prompt, the corresponding code has been already been generated. What it generated? Browser, playwright.chromium launch, and then it created your browser context. It automatically created your new page context, right? And it navigated to the corresponding website. So this we already did in earlier session manually, but now the tool is going to generate everything for us. Okay, so now let's hover on the link. See, when I hover on the link, it is automatically showing you all the locators of each and every object. See, these are all object locators, correct? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on login. See, as soon as I click on login, the code has been generated to click the login. And now I'm going to enter my username, and then I'm going to enter password. Okay, and then I'm going to hit login. See, right side, it is generating all the code. Okay, and then you can hit logout. Done, correct? So if you see here, it generated entire code base, correct? Now if you want to generate the code in different languages, you can generate the code in different languages. Because currently we are working on Java, I'm selecting the target as Java library, correct? So now you can copy this code base, and now let's go back to our Eclipse. Okay, so before that, let's stop the recording. Okay, go back here. This is your test gen, right? Because my recording is finished, I want to stop the recording. I stopped the recording. Okay, now copy the code. Let's go back to Eclipse. Here in this particular package, I want to create a new class file. Okay, let's create a new Java class file. I'll name this as test generator, And this time I'm not going to select main because our test generator itself created main for us, right? And hit finish. Okay, so now you can just replace this entire code base with the code that is generated by your playwright inspector or test generator. And here I want to rename this as test generator because our class name is test generator, correct? Done. And you can just delete whatever the dependencies that you don't want to use. Okay, that's okay. We can delete this, okay, because these are actually not needed. So now save this. So we saved it. So let's see, we can just right click and run this. We'll see if whatever the code generated by our playwright test generator or playwright inspector, does it work correctly or not. So first of all, what it is doing, see here. First it is creating your playwright server. I explained you in this previous session. And then it actually launching your browser with launch options, and your headless mode is false. That means it's going to open your browser. I'm going to execute this in, it is going to execute this in head mode, and it is creating browser context. It created your page context. It's navigating to the website, and it is clicking on your login button, and it clicked on your email edit box, entered your username, entered the password, and it is clicking on your login button, and it is clicking on logout link. So let us just run this as it is and see what happens. Okay, let's close the one which we opened earlier. Okay, right click and just run as Java application. Okay, click OK. So it should open your Chrome browser. Chromium, sorry, it should open Chromium. See, it opened your Chromium. Okay, it opened Chromium. It's going to hit login, logout, done. So this is actually our previous one. Okay, so let me do it one more time, okay, to avoid confusion. Okay, let me just run this. So it opens your Chromium. It performs all the actions whatever we recorded successfully. So it opened Chromium, login, entered username, password, and then logout. See how fast it is. Very fast compared to your Selenium or Cypress. So it's really very good tool. Okay, so now, so that means whatever the code it generated, it worked successfully without any issues, correct? So now I want to tell you one more thing. Let's go back to our official website. Okay, this is how you can generate your script, correct? And also let us again do one thing. So generation of the script is working fine, and your locators also, you can see all the locators you are saving here, right? And let me do one thing. So how can we debug the generated script? Let's say I want to debug the script. Okay, I don't want to run simply, I want to debug the script. If it is a script is very big, how can we do? So for debugging, see, if you go back to debugging tests, okay, so by using playwright inspector, you can also debug your test scripts. How? So you need to set an environment variable called playwright debug. Okay, pw debug, that means playwright debug. So copy this one. So let's go back to your Eclipse, and here right click here and then run as here, run configurations. Okay, just select run configurations, and what is our script? Test generator is our class name, right? Select your test generator, go to environment. Here you need to add one environment variable. Add environment variable which is pw debug, and the value for the environment variable should be 1. Okay, click OK. Now if you run, what happens? What magic happens? Let's see. Hit on run. See, now it opens your playwright test generator in debug mode. Okay, it should open your playwright test generator in the debug mode. That means playwright inspector. See here, whatever the code that we recorded, whatever the code that we wrote, see now we are in debug mode. It's not gonna enter anything. It's just opened your blank browser. And then if you see here, what is my next step? It is clearly showing that it created browser context. Now here if you see the pause symbol here, that means our next step is ready to run. How can you run your next step? Here you have step over F10. Either you hit F10 or click on step over. As soon as you click on step over, see, it opened your browser. And if you see here, next step, see this is successful. That's why it is in green check mark. Correct? So navigating to your application is successful. And what is my next step? If see here, my next step is clicking on login. This is in pause symbol right side. If you observe closely here, even you can see the red mark here, red dot mark. That means it is ready to click on login. See how beautiful it is, right? I mean, I don't see these kind of options in any other tool. This is one of the very nice tool providing these many options in not only recording, it is actually having a very good debugging capabilities. Okay, let me show you the magic. Okay, magic. And here it says waiting for get this element locator. Okay, let's hit again step over. So as soon as you step over, if you see here, expand this number. Okay, see in the back end how many events are going on. Let me show you. To hit login, see how many events it is performing. Before it clicking on link, it's waiting for this particular locator, attempting click action, waiting for element to be visible and enabled and stable. Element is visible and later what happened? The element is visible now. It is enabled and stable. And scrolling into view if needed. Because if it is not visible, it will try to scroll. And done scrolling, performing click action. That means before it actually click action done, how many sub events it is performing. So in case there is a failure, any one of these sub events, you can see in detail why it is failed. Is it failed because element is not visible? Is it failed because this is not scrollable, right? Anywhere it fails, it clearly gives you where the script got failed. Okay, so done. So now again, let's step over. It enters your, it's clicked on your email and then step over. It entered your, see, it entered the username. My next step is actually entering the password, clicking on the password. Step over is clicked on password, entered the password. So next step is clicking on login. So it is waiting here. See, it pass. If you see all these steps which are marked as right mark with right mark, right? These are all passed. Done. Now again step over. It's clicked on login. My next step is waiting for logout. See, this is logout. Hit step over. See, done. My scripting is done. So basically this is how you can debug. So let us again do one more thing. Okay, let us debug one more time. Okay, let's right click here, or you can right click here, run as, run configuration, and go to environment. So this is already available, and then hit run. So basically what I'm saying is you can modify your script, or you can generate the new code also and then copy that new code and enhance your script. Simple. So here step over, and this time before you click on login, I want to click on register, right? See, now stop recording. Sorry, I started recording. Now hit on register, and now let's stop recording. So now let's say my next step is, if you see here, my next step is clicking on login. Still it is there, but clicking on your register is generated. Now if I step over, it's gonna hit login, right? See, it is hitting login, and then again it hits your username, password, right? And then, so basically what is happening? Whatever you actually ran by using debug mode, that is running. But before you run, so let's say before you click on logout here, I stopped here again. Now I want to generate some more code. What I can do again? See, I can just hit again record, and then this time I want to just verify whether I logged in or not before I log out. See, I want to see this link exists or not. And now again stop recording. Now let's go. What is my next step? Actually, my next step is log out. It's already there. Now step over again, right? Step over. So your logout is done. So that means you generated your additional code also by using debug. Okay, so that is one thing. And one more thing is, see, to initiate your debug, we provided this environment variable, right? So without that, let's say I don't want to provide this environment variable. What is another way? Let's go back to your configurations, run as, run configurations. Just delete this environment variable. Okay, remove this, remove environment variable, apply. Okay, close. I removed it. But now let's say I want to open my debug mode. Go here, page dot, there is a concept dot page dot pause. Let's go back here. See this one, page dot pause, page dot pause. Okay, and here after navigating to your URL, I want to insert a page dot pause. Okay, now let's see what happens. Now I'm not going to run, because see, this time I'm not adding any environment variables, right? I just run as Java application. So what happens once it reaches page dot pause, this is where it opens your URL. But at page dot pause, it's going to open your debugger tool, debug tool. See how beauty it is. So you nowhere, no other tool provides these kind of capabilities. See here, it paused here now. Now let's just step over. See, my next step is clicking on login. So this is how, see, and then now I want to run everything, resume. Okay, just resume. It enters everything and it closes, done. So that means, let's say you have some doubts, like from this particular step onwards, you created a new code, let's assume. So you want to you're facing some issues in these code changes, basically in these code steps. Then you can introduce your page.pass. From there, it opens your test generator, playwright test generator, and it runs these particular set of code in debug mode. See, it's really very good capabilities that we have for the playwright over Selenium, Cypress, or any other tools. Okay, hope you all understand the concepts of how can you use your test generator, and then how can you record your scripts or your application, your actions by using playwright test generator, and then how can you debug your script. What are all the different options that are available in debugging your script by using playwright test generator. Please, if you have any queries, just leave your comments in the comment box. I'll try to respond to your queries. Please do subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon. You will receive notifications whenever I publish more videos. Thank you.